Peace, peace. The indigenous population is way out of control. We gotta find a way to subtract some actual souls. Our cops doing their numbers, yeah, they clapping it, folks. Still, we gotta find a way that they won't actually know. So, find the loveliest sample, give them something to dance to. We'll have the people dumbing. They'll never see it coming. Cook up the latest cancer, slip it in they chicken, slip it in they liquor. Kill a nigga quicker. Autism vaccine all in your baby sip cup. That's word life. You can smell it all in their hiccups. Black versus white. So we all keep a fist up. This the militia. I gotta draw you a picture. Miss Silly poured that lemonade. Pour it from the pitcher. Poor mister got you all twisted. You caught listening. TV frequency signal to the bottom got you thinking your problem is Trump or Hillary Rodham. Contribute to the saga. Build and raise a new Sodom. Gomorrah. I record for sons and daughters. They took away your freedom. So any brother saying that he free dumb. A lyrical slave and proud to be one. So who are you to judge me? Who are you to touch me? Got a woman looking at us like, who are you to love me? The Willie Lynch factor still got you years after. Dear pastor, lying to turn tears to laughter. Peace and blessings. Ashe.
Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of Baba TV. Now you know it's my pleasure and I'm always very humbled to be in the presence of the mighty warriors right here, namely Dr. Issa. I love when this brother decides he wants to bless Baba TV at any time, and he always has some important information that he wants to drop on us, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say that the Meduneta is great. It's beautiful. You know, it never should have been a debate on whether or not the Meduneta was deciphered or not. That's why I brought down Dr. Salim Farajee, so that he's the country's #1 nubiologist and #1 expert of the African origins of Judaism and Christianity, right? But the real issue that no one is talking about is those of us, particularly those of us who are born in what we call the African diaspora in the United States and the islands and the Caribbeans and Latin America and South America and Colombia and Peru in the United States and Mexico. Those Africans who were brought over from the 14th century to the 18th century as prisoners of wars. Who and where is your mama from? We don't talk about that. On your paternal and your maternal's side, those first Africans who were forced off those ships and were brought to the United States and the islands in South and Central America, who was that person on your mother and father's side? Who were they? Because once you start asking those questions, these are the questions that will piss off any Western government. It's not taught anywhere. They got us solely focused on Kemet, not understanding that we were only in West and Central Africa, many of us, for 400 to 500 years before the European or the transatlantic slave trade. But why is it there's been this cover-up within the United States educational system as to where we are from? For those of us who live in the United States, we are mostly products of the British. They were the last of the European powers to get into the slave trade. They met us somewhere in Africa and brought us here because of wars, and they controlled those wars. But nobody is talking about where we are from, as if we just all of a sudden disappeared and magically showed up in what is now known as North America and the United States. Who are we? Who is your mama and your daddy? Who are their maternal and paternal parents and great-great-great-grandparents who first set foot on the... I'm not talking this Moorish talk. I'm not talking Hebrew talk. I'm talking real scholarship. Who are we? Why is there this hate for us who were born in the U.S. about Africa? Why? Why have we been so beat down that as far as we can go back is the best that we can do is go back to Kemet. We can't study the kingdoms in which we came from. And if we begin to study those kingdoms that our ancestors came from, then we will understand our migration from the east, in which some of us may have come from Kemet. But don't pass over West and Central Africa solely and go straight to Kemet when you don't even know where your grandmama and your great-grandmama and your grandfather and their ancestors, the ones who first got off those slave ships. That's why a lot of people within some of these so-called conscious community are refusing to deal with this. They say, oh, we were indigenous here. No. We were prisoners of war. We lost the war in Africa. That's how we got here. And since we did not control the educational system, we have forgotten and have made up all type of myths as to why we are here without dealing with the real issue. Garvey was clear on this. All right? Those that preceded Garvey, Martin Delany was clear on this. Henry Trotter, they were all clear on this. The early Du Bois and the later Du Bois, they were clear on who we were and where we come from. It's not hard to find out, but we're afraid to deal with that. I know why we're afraid. I really understand. Who wants to deal with the fact that you lost a war, you were enslaved, you were Jim Crowed, and now you're under a new form of neo-Jim Crowism? Who wants to deal with that? Who really wants to deal with that? So we make up all of these myths to justify our existence here without dealing with the real issues. Who brought us here, what forced us here, and what kingdoms in West and Central Africa do we come from? That is the billion-dollar question that nobody is dealing with. And these are the things that I want us to explore in the future. I'd like to thank you, Brother Baba, for Baba TV, for giving me this opportunity and previous opportunities to speak to the community about our African origins. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because this is our historical reality. And it's not going to get better until we deal with those issues. Thank you.